Wisdom for Sale. A poor Brahmin boy lost his parents in a terrible flood. He was left alone, an orphan with no home and no job. He didn't know what he would do or how he would live. But he was a very smart boy and had learned many things from his father, so it didn't take him long to think of a great idea. One day, he walked into town, hired the smallest, cheapest place he could find in the marketplace, and opened a store. He spent the little money he had on paper, ink, and a pen. Over his store, he put a sign saying, "Wisdom for Sale." All around him in the busy marketplace, merchants owned large, attractive stores selling things that people needed, like cloth, meat, fruit, and vegetables. The Brahmin boy stood outside his little store all day, calling out, "Wisdom for sale! Good prices! Wisdom of all kinds! Wisdom!" People passing his store, who had come to buy supplies for their homes and families, thought he was odd, but amusing too. Instead of buying his wisdom, they crowded around, laughing at him and shouting, "If you're so wise, boy, why do you have such a tiny store? And why do you wear such old, dirty clothes? Oh, wise one, can you make my wife stop telling me what to do?" But the boy was patient. One day, a merchant's son was walking through the marketplace and heard the boy shouting, "Wisdom! Get it here! Good prices!" He followed the boy's voice through the colorful, noisy crowds until he came to his tiny store. This merchant's son was very rich, but also very stupid. He didn't understand what the boy was selling. He thought it was something he could eat or hold. He asked the Brahmin boy the price per kilo. The Brahmin boy answered, "I don't sell wisdom by weight. I sell it by quality." So the merchant's son put down a rupee and said, "All right, I'd like a rupee's worth of wisdom, please." The boy's face suddenly became very serious. He put the rupee in his pocket and told the merchant's son to sit down. Then he also sat down. He looked carefully at the merchant's son's face for a moment, then up at the sky. Then he took out a piece of paper, closed his eyes, took a deep breath, opened his eyes, and wrote. When he had finished, he folded the paper, waved his hand over it 3 times, stood up, and gave it to the merchant's son. On the paper were the words, "It is not wise to stand and watch 2 people fighting." The boy told him in a serious voice, "Keep this with you always." The merchant's son was very excited. He quickly went home and ran into the house shouting, "Father, you won't believe what happened to me today. Come quick and see what I've bought." When his father read the paper, he couldn't believe his eyes. He screamed at his son, "You stupid boy! I can't believe my son paid a rupee for this nonsense. Everyone knows you shouldn't stand and watch 2 people fighting. Who sold you this garbage?" His son then told him about the boy and his little store. The father immediately went to the store. "Aha! There you are!" he shouted when he entered the tiny store and saw the Brahmin boy. "Yes, here I am," replied the boy. "And who are you?" "I'm the father of the fool who bought this piece of nonsense from you." He threw the piece of paper at the boy. "You're a thief, and you've cheated my son. Yes, he's a fool, but you're a thief. Return the rupee he paid you, or I'll call the police." The Brahmin boy read the paper and said, "If you don't like my goods, you can return them. Give me back my goods, and I'll return your money." "I've just returned your goods. Now give me my son's rupee, or I'll call the police."